Alright man, I'm extremely late to the party, and this is an extremely time-limited deal. Here is how to start off a new raid account, man, with Harvest Jack Halloween Special, as well as 3 free Epic Champions, man, on a new raid account. Because it is so time-limited, we're only going to bring this up on the channel this one single time. So to start off a new raid account with Harvest Jack, as well as 3 busted Epic Champions in Ugo, Vegas, and Lights 1, all you gotta do is click on the beginner promo link that is down below this video and use that link to create a new raid account, man. It's that easy. Make sure that you are on laptop or PC and then be signed out of Plarium Player on your PC. Then click on that link and use it to create your new account. And as soon as you're done with the tutorial, Harvest Jack will pop up right away in your inbox. And the 3 free Epic Champions, they'll show up in your account's inbox with every 10 levels that your account gets. You can then also get your hands on the Void Legendary Champion to Hanorak on day 1 of your new account as well. And to get her, you just input beginner code Desert Queen on day 1 of your new account as well. So it's a double legendary start, 3 free Epic Champions, very limited time code. Make sure to get it used right now. How is it even possible that on an account with a fully booked Elva, a fully booked Glycad, a 6-star awakened Ugo, and a happy little Doom Priest, how are we not able to 1-key hard mode Hydra? What is going on, Mr. D? Oh god. What is going on with this team? This is an account takeover video, by the way, where for the next 25 minutes, we're just gonna rip to shreds this account owner, man. Mr. D is never gonna recover from this. That's how we do our account takeovers. And if you can't tell that I'm joking around right now, then you must be new here, man. So just gonna pop in above my head right now all of the key tools that you want to bring into Hydra with a special focus on the role of the Provoker champion, a good reliable Provoker, ideally a 3-10 cooldown Provoker or a champion that can provoke on their A1 skill, and then an AoE block buffs champion. Okay, those 2 roles are absolutely key to bring into Hydra for getting started in my book at least. Kale not really belonging much in a Hydra team. A big issue that we've actually got on Mr. D's account is going to be a big lack of just a solid Hydra damage dealer. Like, HP Burn's pretty good into Hydra, but not with Farrakhan the Fat. He's just single target HP burn, and he doesn't bring a lot to the table besides that into Hydra exactly. We've got a Whisper, who I have rebuilt on this account already. The Whisper was rocking like 140 speed and like 111% crit damage or something, so I've gone in and I fixed the Whisper build. And in fact, I think that we've also got to go ahead and switch over the Whispers artifacts. We'll go ahead and switch it over to just a Talon, I guess. I don't think we've got really anything better that we can put on here, but just a good crit damage accessory is going to do much better for the Whisper. So I'm going to go ahead and just pump some quick and easy levels into this just to get that crit damage up to like the 250% mark on this champ. Because honestly, besides the Whisper, we just got no good Hydra specialist damage dealers. Not many max HP damage dealers to speak of, minus like a Cold Heart, which you know, into Hydra, probably not. No mass HP burners or anything like that, you know. But the general rule is, when building out your Hydra teams, what you're really looking to do is check as many boxes as you can after sorting the Block Buffs champion and the Provoker champion, right? Bring as many healers as you can, as much debuff cleanse as you can, as much HP burn as you can, to an extent. Hex debuffs, Veil buffs, all of these things are just kind of like bonus boxes that you can check to take into a Hydra team. Now, if I take a quick look at our Hydra squads here that Mr. D has got set up, these are the 4 that were on the account before I ever got here, of course. I can only see 1 Provoker in any of these teams. Just the 1. And it's the Vizix, and she's level 50, and the Vizix isn't booked, so I'm a bit like, you know what I'm saying? Damage dealers is obviously a big problem. We're not really helping ourselves by squeezing Kale and Farrakhan into various teams like this. In fact, some of these Hydra teams only have like 1 actual damage dealer that I consider a real damage dealer into Hydra, which is like the Alice, which she's not great, but at least she brings some a little bit of AoE damage, you know. I guess Difey is doing a similar just AoE damage role in this first team right here as well, but just not a lot to work with in terms of damage dealers, really, with the Whisper only showing up in 1 of the teams as well. Moreover, hang on, dude. Okay, never mind. The Ugo does show up in 2 teams. Okay, yeah, so we're doing an okay job in most of the teams, apart from this team right here, of covering the block buffs role, which is so bloody important into Hydra for preventing the boss from placing Poison Cloud which is a buff that the Head of Blight places right here. Poison Cloud just is horrible to deal with if the Hydra heads get up Poison Cloud. Basically, everything you do against them is going to weak hit for 2 Hydra 10s, which is horrendous because all of a sudden then you can't land debuffs, you're barely doing any damage. It's just an absolute disaster, so that's why block buffs is so crucial. And so all we're going to do here is go in and build some Hydra teams kind of from scratch, starting off with what I like to always call the A team. Okay, this is the best Hydra team your account can possibly put together, trying to push into maybe hard, maybe even brutal difficulty on this account. This should be like booked Hydra specialists, good legendary champions. It all begins, if you can, with a speed aura lead. I don't give a damn if it's High Katoon on your account. If this is the only speed aura lead that you've got, I use High Katoon as my speed aura lead on my own free-to-play account into hard Hydra, and she does the job just fine. It's crucially important, man. The faster your team is gone, the quicker you're going to get around again to using your important provoke skills and your block buff skills, and keeping that provoke active on the Head of Decay at all times, or as much as humanly possible at least, is going to be a big deal. So we've got the option here for Glycad for an aura lead, but honestly, I think I like the option of the Elva even more so. We're going to go ahead and get an Elva as the speed aura lead. It's going to be a speed aura that's active in all battles, by the way, arena leads and stuff like that. I've seen people do this before in past account takeovers where they'll put like an Arbiter as the aura lead, thinking, well, it's a speed aura. Yeah, but it's only active in arena battles, man. You got to read the fine print, you know? So the Elva's going to come on the team. She's going to bring along a block debuffs buff and some debuff cleanse. Good, like 2 tools that we really like, as well as an increased speed buff. Great, that's another box checked as well. She's also going to bring along a revive, which is a big deal. At least one reviver champion on all of your Hydra teams is going to be great. You can get away without using a revive. It's risky. If anybody on the team dies halfway through the run and you had a very high potential run going, and somebody dies before you hit the Hydra chest, well, now you got to restart because the run's basically over, you know. She's also going to bring a whole bunch of healing on her passive every single time an ally gets a 10. They heal for 10% of their max HP at the start of the 10, and so that's good as well. She's going to help to bring some healing to the table, as well as bringing some continuous heals on the A1. A great first champion to key in for our A team. She's bringing a lot. Next up, Provoker, which is a big role that Mr. D was missing in all of the teams up here, and so we've got to take care of business. Honestly, Seeker. Great champion option for this role. Why? Seeker brings along a provoke on the A1 skill, which when booked is a 50% chance on a double hitter. So each hit has a 50% chance of placing provoke debuff for 1 turn. Very nice. Also just brings some 10 meter boost as well. We can go ahead and make sure that we're using that first. We also want to make sure that Elva is opening with their increased speed buff as well. So I'm going to set up some presets as we go here as well. Seeker, great option. Honestly, when it comes to setting up your Hydra teams in this way, one of the things you might want to do when searching for components for your Hydra team is go into your champion roster page, go into your filters, and you want to scroll on down until you find the buffs and debuffs filters, and just look for every champion on your account that brings provoke. So we're going to go ahead, click provoke. We're going to include master vault as well, just in case any champions are hiding away in the vault. And this just gives us like a very easy account-wide view of any champions that could fit into that provoker role. We've got some decent options here, like the Seeker, like I've already mentioned. We've got some not so good options like Taragi, who brings a 50% land rate provoke on his A2, but it's on a 310 cooldown. It's not really going to work. Burungiri brings a chance to provoke, but it's only a single attack on his A1, so basically half the chance of placing the provoke compared to Seeker. Again, not good, not really going to work. We've got some good provoke options here as well. Master Butcher is a great option to bring along as a budget option provoker. He brings a 410 cooldown provoke, but it places provoke on an enemy for 2 turns. And so as long as you've got him built with enough accuracy and with decent speeds, 210, 220, 230 speed or something, so relatively fast, he can get around again using the skill quickly. You have to keep up basically 100% uptime provoke on the likes of a Head of Decay, you know. And it's got Jizzle's not a bad option as well, by the way. Epic champion. He's a garbage champion, but again, basically the same A3 as Master Butcher, just he costs epic skill tomes to upgrade, whereas the Butcher only takes res. So those are just some of your provoker options. Now, again, for the A team, the next role that we want to fill in, again, like the next most important role, is the block buffs champion. We have fairly limited options here, I guess. I mean, it's just going to be the Ugo. In this case, we don't really have much of a choice besides the Ugo. When it comes to reliable block buffs champions, it doesn't really get much better than Ugo on a budget. The Ugo speed is very low at 157. The accuracy is actually a bit overkill for where the account is right now as well. Defensive stats look okay, but we got to fix that speed. We got to be pushing like north of 200 speed at a minimum for the Ugo, really. Ugo's a great champion because it brings decreased defense and block buffs wrapped up in the same skill on a 310 cooldown. Very, very nice. And also brings a whole bunch of healing and debuff cleanse as well on the A3. So the Ugo plus the Elva are probably going to handle most of the team's healing needs. And again, just like before, we can be using the filters to just scan through our block buffs champions. We can actually see we've got some great options here for this, like the Mighty Uko, who is built in 6 pieces of cruel gear. Mr. D, what are we doing with this Mighty Uko? Okay, so Uko is a great champion because it brings that speed aura in all battles by 20%. So in the future, I have no doubt that Mighty Uko is going to be one of our speed aura leads going into Hydra, and that's going to be great. It also handles the increased speed buff on the A3, as well as placing block buffs, decreased accuracy as well on the A2 skill. So Mighty Uko, great Hydra champion. Not on a cruel set, you know. And this is more of like a long-term build project on the account, but a fine start. Other champions that you can also turn to, Loki the Deceiver is fine. Loki's almost booked on this account, but we stopped halfway. For whatever. We might as well finish booking this Loki now. I normally wouldn't recommend booking a Loki, but whatever, dude. Might as well finish the job now we're at this stage. But brings block buffs and then some debuff spread, so Loki can do the job. Phenax in a pinch is actually a pretty good budget option. Block buffs champion. It's an 80% land rate block buffs on this attack all enemies A2. The issue is it's 80% land rate and it's a 410 cooldown booked. So it's like you're kind of pushing the limit there a little bit of what you can achieve in terms of block buffs. If you're using a Phenax, it's going to fall off sometimes during the fight and you can land in hot water, but it can get you started. Ostrox is a great epic champion option that brings a 3-turn duration block buffs on a 310 cooldown into Hydra on the A2, and so Ostrox is a great option as well. So you've got some options to pick and choose from there, man. The Ugo, by far the best option for us on this account. And so basically that's most of the healing, the increased speed buffs, all of that kind of stuff. Most of the stuff that you want to handle into Hydra now is already dealt with. Healing, provoke, block buffs. This is the backbone of the team sorted. Now it's just about maximizing damage, and on this account it just happens that we have the luxury of picking up a couple turtle champions, both of which are fully booked as well. Oh, which is glorious to see. Good stuff, you know, getting the turtles fully booked. Incredible dynamic duo that is Mikey and Donnie. Great to see on this account. And honestly, we're going to have maybe a little bit of an overabundance of healing and debuff cleanse on this team. Like, we've got like multiple supports now that can cleanse debuffs and are placing all kinds of heals and stuff like that. But I think the Donnie brings enough to the table with this cooldown reset A2 that he ends up placing on the team. Plus, every time the Donnie attacks, he's going to ally attack with the Mikey. And so that's a lot of extra damage there as well. I'm just going to have the have the Donnie open up with his 10 meter boost and his strength and buffs and stuff like that. And so the Mikey is now one of our damage dealers, supported by the Donnie. Now we need another damage dealer. For us, it's going to be Whisper. Again, this account doesn't have many good options in terms of damage dealers. I'm a bit nervous about how squishy the Whisper is. We have a good, reliable decreased attack debuff coming in from the Mikey that we just saw me prioritize, or not prioritize, but I haven't opened with on his A3 skill. And so this decreased attack is going to be a big deal for helping our team survive. In fact, decreased attack debuff is, for me, one of the next highest priority tools to bring into Hydra right after provoke and block buffs against the Hydra heads. Decreased attack is kind of crucial to keep up against the Head of Wrath into Hydra. The Head of Wrath, this little sucker right here, it hits like a truck. It hits like a freight train, dude. It hits so bloody hard. And of course, you can trigger its counterattacks every now and again once it reaches 15 enraged stacks or whatever the hell those things are called. It's a big problem. You need decreased attack debuff up against this thing in like 90% of Hydra teams out of there. You can get away with running an increased defense buff, and that can get you through as well. Granted, you know, but decreased attack debuff doesn't get much more reliable than that. And so this for me would be the very first Hydra squad. A second Hydra team of this account, I'll just throw one together real quick. It's going to be the Glycad running in this team. He does bring increased defense as well as a revive. He brings Veil to the team as well, so Glycad's going to be a great option. And of course that all-important speed or a lead. We can also then look to start building out the Visix in this team to act as the provoker. Don't get me wrong, once the Visix is fully booked, by the way, she replaces the Seeker in this team like that, dude. She replaces the Seeker straight away in the A team as soon as she's booked, because she brings not just provoke but also ally protect and decrease speed on an AoE, so she's just strictly better than the Seeker in every way. But right now the Seeker's going to be in the A team because he's booked, you know. We then need to take care of the block buffs champion, where we have the option of Loki or the Fenax, where's the Fenax gone? Oh, there he is. We're going to get a good old Nub in there. Nub raids. He can function as the block buffs champion. He's not going to do a great job at it, but, you know, it's sort of better than nothing. We can then go ahead and throw in some extra support by tossing in the Sifi in this second team. Oh, sorry, it's God, not Sifi, it's Duchess. Okay, well, they're both revivers and they both wear, like, veils and stuff, okay? Basically the same champion. Another source of veil, continuous heal, revive, also brings increased attack and block debuffs buff, and so she's going to do a good job. I would then love to just bring along some more damage dealers in the team and stuff like that, but I'm going to bring along a Doom Priest for some debuff cleansing, some healing, and then the Alice is probably the damage dealer in this B team. This team is much lower damage potential because the Alice is like really the only super dependable damage dealer. Fenax is much better as a damage dealer if he's got like ally attack champions and stuff. He can be pretty okay into Hydra, but it's not really his forte exactly. So this B team, it's more hand-me-down champions than anything. For now though, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild some champions in this main A team. So we've already handled the Whisper, who's again, her defense is a bit low. You're really hoping for at least like 2100, 2200 plus defense, taking your damage dealers into Hydra. But for now, we'll see how she does. The Ugo was running way too slow, so we've got to fix that. The Elva, I wonder if she could be running faster. If we can get her in like 5 or 6 pieces of protection gear, that could also be pretty good. The Seeker's build is actually very nice. 262. That's great. It's good because I'm also not allowed to touch the Seeker because he's part of an unkillable clan boss team, so I'm not allowed to touch the Seeker's build on this account. The Donnie is extraordinarily slow and is probably half naked, to be honest, looking at his build. The Mikey's slow as hell, no crit rate, no crit damage, but decent accuracy. I wonder what's going on with his build, man. We'll check in on the Mikey first, who is butt naked. Well, he's got some jewelry on. That's about it. He's got a ring on and some chains on. Ooh, do with that knowledge what you will. Okay, let's go ahead and fix this up. So we are looking for gauntlets first. I always start building out damage dealers with trying to find good crit damage gauntlets for damage dealer first. And I'm going to start off with the sets that are the best, right? And see if we can make pieces work from these sets, which might be a bit of a challenge on this account. But Slayer set, Perception crit damage gauntlets would be fine. Cruel would be okay. Relentless could be an option, potentially. Otherwise, we might have to fall back on something like accuracy, because of course he does need accuracy in his build as well. So let's see what we've got here. Ooh. And actually, I like the look of these merciless gloves. To be fair, they're actually pretty okay. Crit damage main, crit rate, a little bit of speed, but a trip roll and accuracy is like uniquely good. For a Mikey, he's one of those damage dealers that's really more of like a debuff or damage dealer hybrid. So we'll go ahead and start off the build with these. Next, we're going to move to the chest plate, which is attack percent, and exactly the same again. I'm going to try and focus on and prioritize gear sets that make sense for the Mikey. So attack percent, accuracy, speed, that kind of thing, you know, is what we're looking for. Oh, just looking for crit rate rolls, man. Just looking for crit rate rolls. Getting the 100% crit rate with crit damage gauntlets is always the biggest challenge, and you're very just dependent on having a slightly more mature account with just good gear rolls on it, which can be a little bit rough to hit in the short term. Tell you what, I'll settle with this cruel chest plate for now. It's only got 1 crit rate roll, so we've got a lot of ground to make up here. We'll see if we can make it work. Next up, and the next piece that we're going to be looking for is, of course, boots. And the reason, by the way, that you want to start off all of your builds by locking in gloves, chest, and boots is because these are the pieces that are hardest to find. Generally speaking, weapons, heads, and shields, they're way easier to find good pieces for a champ because their main stat is always the same. Their primary stat is always the same, right? It's always attack, HP, or defense, depending on if it's weapon, head, or shield. Whereas boots, gloves, chest, very variable stats on these. Okay, so what we're going to be looking for as speed is the main stat, and let's see if we can find something with crit rate as a sub. That would be bloody lovely, and it just happens that we've got some very good perception boosts here that have double crit rate. Oh my god, hang on. Ooh. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hide set filters here, which is the button all the way at the bottom of the gear filters. Then I'm going to set the priority stats to crit rate, and just see what we're working with in terms of boots. I can't take the boots off the Farrakhan because he's part of the unkillable team. in Demon Lord. There are some cruel boots here that we could just roll up and try and double hit crit rates, but they go HP. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and steal these perception boots after all. So it's a very, very hodgepodge set that we're gonna be running here, but now that we've looked for the easy stuff, we can go ahead and just lock in on weapon, helmets, and shields. And again, we're leaving the substats and just the priority stats as crit rate. So now we're just seeing all of the highest crit rate pieces across the entire account, so we can just laser focus on getting this crit rate up to 100%. Got a shield here that could roll up into yet more crit rate and become very, very useful. I've got a good feeling about this shield, man. You just get a good feeling about something. You know, it's okay. We'll go ahead and lock it in just for the time being. Okay. Forget everything. I'm going to have to drop the cruel chest. We have no good cruel pieces that are like weapon, helmet, or shield, and so we're not going to get to benefit from the 2 set from cruel. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on this curing chestplate. It just gives more crit rate, more attack. It's also 6 stars. This is fine. We can equip this in as just sort of a one of. Oh, we've also got the Michelangelo built in an HP amulet, which is not great. What's his banner? Okay, at least the banner is accuracy, but it's got no speed. Can we do better than that, man? Do we even need an accuracy banner? Now that I look at it, honestly, I think I'd rather just have him in an attack banner, you know, and at least get some extra speed coming in, because he's still very, very, very painfully slow. So this is just a smidgen of the rebuilds that we're going to be getting done across the account. Gaining HP, attack, defense, crap load of speed, getting that crit rate up to as close to 100% as we can. Accuracy still high enough to be landing debuffs into hard Hydra. I think you need about 280 to 300 accuracy for that job. And so let's go ahead and save this build as just new Mikey and go ahead and get this. Oh my god, we have so many builds saved. Okay, I'll go ahead and lock this one in, and let's rebuild a whole bunch of other champs too. I'll just do that off camera. Okay, Ugo rebuild complete. HP going up a bit, defense going up a bit, speed going up by like 90. Okay, so the Ugo's gonna be way, way faster now. And the accuracy floating around the 300 mark. That will do, man. That will do. I don't need to go any crazier with this build, I don't think. Let me go ahead and save it first. We can also get the Donatello build right here in full Relentless gear, so he's going to be doing great as well. Again, he's fully booked. We've got to be taking advantage of him. Just a quick tip when it comes to accessories. This is why any accessories that are part of a 9-piece set, like Feral, Pinpoint, Chronophage, that kind of thing, are so bloody good. Okay, Donatello doesn't need the accuracy from a Feral ring, as you can see right here. Like, he get 40 accuracy from this. Who cares? What we do care about is getting 2 pieces equipped, so he gets just a little speed bump. It's a big deal, and every little does add up on your champs like this. So I'm going to go ahead and slam the ring and the HP amulet on him. I almost don't even care that much where the upgrades go into this. It could go into a bunch of attack and suck. It actually goes into HP, which is lovely. Dude, my luck on rolling up the artifacts of this account, can I just say, has been absolutely insane. Well, until this amulet, you know, but what we care about is the extra little bump of speed that we're getting from tossing these on. The banner, all we care about is speed on the banner, so anything that can just roll into a good amount of speed, even a resistance banner, could be pretty decent. Do we have anything that's like HP or defense, though? I'd much rather, you know what I'm saying? Ugh. Anyway, final Donatello build. There it is, man. 247 speed. Very, very nice indeed, man. Very, very happy with this rebuild. So all champs are now rebuilt. Just one thing that we're missing is relics on a couple of these champions. Like the Donatello just doesn't have anything to work with. Gonna go ahead and see if I can just craft a couple of books, a couple of the relic books. They might only be rare quality relics, but if we could just get like a couple of those, you know, at least one on the Donatello would be very, very nice, just to make sure that we've got that extra bonus. It's a very, very good relic to grab, as we're getting extraordinarily lucky here and hitting all kinds of epics, so I won't spend too many of these resources. I'm just hoping to hit it quite quickly. There we go, man. The good old journal. That's the one that I was looking for. So, yeah, this is a great relic just to put on any of your champs that bring 10-meter boost to the table. It just increases the effectiveness of their 10-meter boost. So I'm going to go ahead and rank this up a bit, which just makes its effect a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get that done. And I think we're just ready to rock and roll. So the most damage we've ever pulled into hard Hydra is 500,000, as you can see right here on the account profile page. Let's see if we can beat that, man. For the most part, I'm going to let this fight sort of full auto. The only exception being if the Seeker fails to land his provoke right away against the Head of Decay. Okay, good. He actually is able to land it, man. So that's good stuff. Funnily enough, the Seeker's actually the fastest champion on the team, man, which is a little bit nuts, but buffs are going to come out. The block buffs is going to land from the Ugo. The provoke, the block buffs, as long as these are maintained across these Hydra heads, we're good. Like, we're in very, very good standing. Now, we do also have the problem of the Michelangelo's decreased attack debuff weak hitting into the current affinity of Head of Wrath. It's currently magic affinity, which is a big problem. It means that he's going to have a chance to weak hit with that decreased attack skill, and so we failed to land the debuff on this sucker. If you have to restart Hydra a couple of times, man, in order to get the God run, you know, then so be it, you know. I'm just very nervous of when it gets off its big old counterattack from its vengeance, blah blah blah. I'm very nervous of it one-shotting the Whisper, who's got very low armor, and so very low defense rather. Armor? What the hell am I talking about? You know, you know what I mean? She's the liability on the team right now. Okay, we are actually able to land the decreased attack debuff against the boss. I don't know who landed that or when, but whatever, I'll take it. I guess the Mikey got it up in the end. Yeah, let's skip to the first decapitation. Well, we've already quadrupled our previous high score on Mr. D's account, coming in towards 2 million right now, so that ain't bad, man. Just imagine how crazy I can go with the thumbnail on this one. We didn't double his Hydra damage. We didn't triple his Hydra damage. We, like, triple sextupled his Hydra damage, you know what I'm saying? Had to have a quick emergency restart just now, man, because we failed to land Provoke at a really bad time, and it resulted in a wipe, because then the Head of Decay was able to move, and it cleansed all of the buffs off of all the heads, and it cleansed the decreased attack off the Head of Wrath, and then it one-shotted half the team. And so some restarts are going to happen. Until you get a very well optimized Hydra team, some restarts are going to happen, especially if you've got champions like, again, Phoenix or Loki acting as your block buffs champions, right? They're just gonna fail to land the block buffs sometimes, and sometimes when the Hydra fight is just getting started, that can be a bloody disaster if that happens very early on in the fight. Yeah, some restarts are gonna happen, is the long and short of it. And bam! 20 million damage. First try, just kidding. Yeah, this is like attempt number 4. 4 or 5, I think. Some restarts are normal, right? Don't be feeling bad about restarts, blah blah. If you've got a progression team with a less than reliable provoker, your gear isn't quite there yet. This team's not super optimized for the Whisper, so while the Whisper's doing pretty good damage, it's not really a team that's built around it. It's not getting the most out of the Whisper, and she's at like 240% crit damage, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where the builds are on this account at this time, but very happy to see this, man. Pushing up to 22 mil damage right now. Let's see what total damage number we end on. The 1 key, though, is secured, which is the important thing. You know, man, from 500,000 damage to nearly 26 million, I'd call that a win, man. And look at that, even though we didn't have like an AoE weaken debuff champion on the team, the Whisper's still pulling like 10 million, still more than the Mikey. Just shows how good of a Hydra and just boss killer specialist damage dealer she is. And so yeah, lots of room for improvement on this team, levels to be had, masteries to be farmed, gear upgrades to have, upgrades hopefully eventually in time for the Seeker, and yeah, lots of upgrades to make to this team over time. So the fact that we can 1 key hard now, I call that a huge win. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope this video was useful to anybody who's stuck and struggling with their team building inside of Hydra. If it did help you out, man, make sure to go ahead and hit like on the video and all that good stuff. It helps me out quite a lot. And of course, if you're looking to start with a new raid account, make sure to get that done right now by clicking on the beginner link. It's down below this video at the top of the description box. It's the best beginner promo link on and all that good stuff. I'm going to catch up with you guys just a tad bit later, man.